I think, first of all, that I'm excited about the idea that we have a playoff system where we're going to have 4 teams involved in that playoff system. I think the fans are excited about it. I'm hopeful that we use some of the BCS criteria that they used over a 13-year period, the knowledge and experience that they have. They usually got it right. Where they got confused or when they got criticized was when there were more than 2 teams that were capable of getting in. They couldn't have more than 2 teams in. So hopefully we'll get the right teams by using some of those, that knowledge and experience. I would be a little concerned if we continue to expand in terms of the number of games that college players have to play. That's not really something that I think we've kind of reached in the saturation point. I do think it's important in the future for our fans to play quality games. I think everybody wants to see quality games. I think it's important that we continue to get fans to come out and have the experience in the stadium, and they're going to do that if we're playing quality games. And if we're going to play those games, we've got to play against good teams. So I would like to see more conference games, and I would like to see more games, even all 12 games in the Big 5 conferences. And I would, but I'd also, because the reason that people don't want to do that is they can't qualify for bowl games. So I don't think we should have to qualify for a bowl game. I think some committee should pick them just like they do in basketball, and it doesn't have anything to do with your record. It has to do with quality wins and, all that type of stuff. I really don't have much to say about pace of play. I just know that in college football, we're the only place in football where the officials don't control the pace of the game. In high school they do, and they do in the NFL. And I don't really understand why that is. It wasn't that way when we had a 25-second clock. Why it changed when we got a 40-second clock. They changed from a 25-second clock to a 40-second clock in the NFL, but it didn't change pace of play. It didn't change how they control the pace of play. My concerns are a player should be able to line up on defense, and our rules should always be reflective of player safety in terms of how you can get players in and out of a game, as well as how many plays they play and the cumulative effect that might have on them down the road. So that's really all I got to say about that.
Nick, last time you were replacing a quarterback, you'd let the battle go into the season opener. Are you comfortable going that route again if it plays itself out, or did you see any hindrances in AJ's development because he didn't have control of the team until the games had started?
I think we won the championship that year, did we not?
I believe so.
Okay, so did it have any effect on him then?
Nick, earlier this summer.
Well, let me answer the question at least. When you come to picking players, and you're trying to decide who's going to be the leader of your team, you can't really force those things. You can't force a relationship. You can't force happiness. I was always told if you work hard, you'll be successful. If you're successful, you'll be happy. That's not necessarily true. You got to do something of significance. Well, somebody on our team is going to have to take the bull by the horns to be the quarterback. And I would like to see that happen sooner than later. But I have no control over that. And you can't force it to happen.
Nick, earlier this summer, Steve Spurrier wondered aloud if you guys had maxed out potentially at Alabama. Does it bother you when he makes comments like that, or do you just write that off to Steve being Steve?
It really doesn't bother me much at all, but, I sometimes feel like we failed at Alabama, by some of the comments that I hear. So I guess there's a new standard for failure.
Specifically Steve's comments?
No, I'm just saying, I just made this, some of the comments that I hear, it makes me think we failed at Alabama. We won 72 games in the last 6 years, which nobody has done in the history of college football. Nobody's ever done that before. And 3 national championships, and all of a sudden we failed. We're a failure, total failure. And it's just the way it goes, though.